You never know where life will take you. Opportunities can come at any moment, and even if they take you out of your comfort zone, they could be life-changing. That's what Shanley Spence has done, taking chances and exploring possibilities. Join us as we find out about her life journey, her exploration of art, and how she's empowering BIPOC communities. Let's get into it.
Tanse anin buju, wapan gisagawi pisem esqueo natis nakasen. My English name is Shanley Spence, but I also carry a couple of spirit names. The one that I use it translates to early morning sun woman in the Cree language. So I am part Cree from Matthias Colomb Cree Nation up in northern Manitoba. And I'm also part Ojibwe and Anishinaabe from my father's side of the family, from their community known as Lake St. Martin First Nation. But born and raised here in the city, Winnipeg.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what sort of things do you do? I mean, we're definitely going to go into a ton of the stuff that you've gone into, but what are you currently doing right now?
Currently now, I feel like I'm in a transitionary phase and season of my life. I'm still very much involved with the hoop dancing, with speaking, doing a lot of cultural understanding, cultural awareness workshops with various communities across Canada, across the world. I'll go anywhere. And recently I've been taking some classes on mentorship, life coaching that utilize different modalities to address root causes and working with the subconscious mind. So
nice.
That's my newest hyperfixation, is learning all that I can with that and how I can also offer that to our communities.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I find sometimes it's difficult when I hear people like, oh, I did this for 40 years. And I'm like, whoa, how do you just stick to one thing that time? I always feel like 5 or so years, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for something new, something exciting to test my skills on.
Yeah, I'm definitely like that. There's so many different paths in life and interests that I have. So sometimes I get overwhelmed with all of the different areas I want to explore.
Oh yeah, decision paralysis where you're like, I want to do this, and this. Where do I even start?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about some of the things you've done in the past, because they're absolutely incredible. One that really stood out to me was the On the Other Side, this kind of like ghost story, ghost show. How did you get involved in that? And very particularly about the aspect of the ghost show that is something you don't really see in the ghost hunting genre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's such an interesting story, because I grew up very hypersensitive, a very empathic person. I was very aware of energy around me and in the places I would go to. So I felt like I kind of always had that skill set. And then I feel like just my work throughout the different communities, I tell people with businesses, with any work that you do, it's important to keep that reputation alive, to create those networks, those connections, because you'll get these crazy out of the blue opportunities like this show where the production team was reaching out looking for a new Indigenous co-host to join the team. And they asked some of the members of the community that I've worked with. And so they were the ones who put my name forward. And then I got a call one day, and it was really cool because they knew the work that I was doing with the life coaching already. And so they said, maybe this is something that you can apply the coaching not only to the living, but to the other side. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. And so it was a beautiful opportunity and a beautiful journey of exploring that side.
That approach in itself, I think it's very refreshing. I was just watching a YouTube video exploring, it was called Conjuring Kesha, where Kesha would go out to these haunted places, but it feels very much more exploitative in terms of the afterlife and these places where horrible things happen, like sanatoriums and places like that. And then you're going in and kind of joking around and things like there wasn't this sense of respect when going into these places.
That's what I really loved about this show and this team that's one of the main missions and visions of the show, is that respect.
I mean, you're mentioning having an open mind for opportunities that cross your path. And I think that's something that all of us should be open to as well, that a chance of like, oh, this sounds interesting. And even though it might put me outside of my comfort zone at times, maybe I should give it a shot. Maybe I should try it out.
Yeah, definitely. This was one of those moments of out of my comfort zone. I was laughing leading up to the call. I was like, I don't even think I can do this. I'm still scared of the dark sometimes. And they want me to go in there all night, investigating. But I was like, let me just have a conversation with them. Let me pick their brain, ask them questions about the show and their process. And by the end of the call, they were like, we want to take you on. Are you ready? And I was like, I don't know. Wait, what? It happened so fast.
It's like, okay, all right, let's do this.
And then by the end of the day, I said yes. And so they sent the papers over and I was on a plane the next week to start prepping for the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what sort of locations did you all go to?
Yeah, the season that I did was season 9, and it was focused more on the west coast of Canada. So we traveled up Vancouver Island, some places in Siniak's territory, through the mountains.
I mean, that's fun. You not only are you getting this new experience, but like you're visiting beautiful locations in Canada.
And every single place that we went to had a different teaching or a lesson or people I feel like we were meant to meet with their messages. And even the stories of the spirits that we were connecting with too had their own stories to tell. And I thought that was so powerful.
And this ties into a lot of other artistic approaches that you've done, like your hoop dancing. You were part of a music festival as well, like couple of summers ago, or when was that?
Yeah. I've been involved with like the Winnipeg Folk Fest, the Full Bloom Music Festival, other different wellness festivals. Where
did you find in your life that you wanted to pursue these kind of artistic endeavors? And like you're focusing on different areas now, but like, it's all kind of tied into that art and understanding about things.
Yeah, I've always been an artistic person, and finding the stories, the messages, the teachings, the lessons that I feel can be portrayed, and the healing that it brings, the hoop dance, and just seeing how throughout the years too, how it impacts people, how they feel something, or it will bring up a memory, or it will bring up something for them to move through. And so it became more of a bigger mission than just myself. And having fun with this artistic performance, it became more of a greater legacy that I feel like I was leaving behind for our people and for this city and for, the generations to come, and passing it on to them too, so that these teachings can be carried forward and bringing that mission forward.
Exactly. I always appreciate looking at art, not just from like the historical perspective, seeing what people did before, but how that can inspire art moving ahead. Winnipeg, I think, is beautiful place with so much vibrancy and character to it, even though sometimes it feels like, there's challenges, obviously, here in Winnipeg, but there's a beauty to it as well. Like, what is it, 120 meter concrete sculpture underneath in the tunnels down Portage and Main, the Exchange District, even going into Winnipeg's North End, all the different murals and things on the buildings and seeing these historic sites. And I think it's just exciting to see those and, apply it as like, how can we take that history and then put it into my art and then create something new to tell a story.
Yeah, I love that too. Creating that fusion, mixing the old with the new, modernizing, evolutionizing. Is that the word?
An evolution of art,
yes.
An
evolution of the art, and making it into something that the younger generations coming up can relate to and can feel inspired by, for sure.
Well, that's like with the WAG, and I always mess up like the second name of it. It's taking contemporary art, historical art, putting on display, and then bringing in new artists who have influences from these, but trying something completely new.
Yeah.
And a lot of the exhibits are really fun, and you get to see what the artist is hoping to inspire in people, trying to teach them.
Yeah, and through that, it creates that movement of resurgence and that powerful reclamation of the past. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Really beautiful and powerful.
Why you're mentioning the change, wanting something new. Why kind of this more like holistic business coaching for BIPOC communities? What was the catalyst that put you down that path?
Well, I've always wanted to help people in a deeper capacity, create impact for our communities, especially our Indigenous and BIPOC communities that have gone through so much throughout the years, and to be part of that greater movement of the resurgence and the reclaiming. And my dance was doing that for a long time, and the work that I do with that was helping me to create those changes and bring forward that healing and the storytelling that it brings and the connecting with people. But I felt like I wanted to go deeper. And so when that opportunity came through and I saw this course being offered and all the things that I'd be learning, the skill sets, the working with the root causes of these struggles and things holding people back, working with the subconscious, unconscious mind, things that are really ruling how we move forward. It really just grabbed my attention. And so through taking the course, I was able to help not only myself, but then therefore be able to start reaching out and helping those who felt called to the message, who needed someone to hold space in a safe, compassionate, understanding way.
And, opening up the doors for people like that is only beneficial for our communities, giving people opportunities, whether that's small businesses or they're going to this, even if they don't necessarily go into business or something, they're inspired by it to try something new, whether it's art or music or some other avenue, and coming together to create those supports. I think it's so important. And I'm glad you're creating a space where people can come together
and rise into feeling comfortable in sharing their gifts of dance or art or, whatever it is that lights their spirit and soul on fire. I want them to be able to feel empowered to be able to do so, because I think it's those kinds of people who embrace their gifts, their passions, that will all help. The more the merrier, will help change the world, right?
Yeah. I think your approach coming from an artistic background is incredibly beneficial. Keisha Paul is a business consultant, and she hosts shows now, was the host on CBC in the mornings for quite some time. And she also looks at business from a artistic perspective. And I think that is a great benefit, because you're not just looking at it from business, let's go, we got to get the quarter in, something like that. But you're looking at it from this evolution, from this, okay, how does this and this influence this? How can we take it to create something new and unique and beneficial?
How can we change the energy, change the frequency? Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the times, like you said, the business is very masculine. It's very rigid and hustle and bustle. And I think there's also that evolution, that change happening in business and the way that we bring forward the work that we do, that's coming more into flow, coming more into alignment.
As generations come through, we're starting to see that change. Like hearing a lot of stories of Gen Z from the perspective of Gen X business owners, where they're like, oh, look at these kids. They're so demanding. They're not letting us exploit them anymore. So yeah, you right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Exploit. They're not letting you take advantage of them. And I think that's the exciting thing, as we're seeing people progress, people come together through social movements, people being more aware about what's happening out there. And I think it's going to be fantastic to see how things change with younger generations and new, unique perspectives in all avenues of life. I feel when movies have the opportunity to have not only diverse casts, but individuals to create it, it's beautiful, the stories we can tell. Some of the most exciting stories that I've been seeing recently are from the perspectives outside of the mainstream.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's kind of next for you? Like, you're going through this business thing, but if another opportunity opened in terms of like a different video project, would you want to also take on that role?
Yeah, definitely. If the production ever does another season and they reach out, I'd totally be down. Any other aligned productions out there, for sure. And just going deeper with the work that I'm already doing. I want to start getting into deeper work, like working more closer with people in terms of retreats and more one-on-one group programs. I want to start a podcast at some point. And then even years down the line, I'm hoping to have an actual permanent location, like a studio or some kind of holistic center, and get more people involved who also have more to offer to the community.
It's that collaborative approach, right?
Yeah,
As people
exactly.
come in, you work together, and it allows you to touch and help even more people.
Yeah, to create that network. So if people come to us like, I need help, I need a certain thing, we'll be able to bring that resource for them.
Yeah, that's something I've been hearing a lot in terms of like newcomer communities as well. The importance of networking. And with COVID and everything, I feel like, yeah, we're definitely seeing a division that happens. Like people feel disconnected from reality almost at times. And I think that's incredibly detrimental and horrific for our own health as well. Like we're social beings. We want to be with people, and this whole kind of divisiveness that we're seeing lately, it's not going to go anywhere positively.
Yeah, I agree.
What advice would you give someone who's trying to figure out what next step they should do in their life if they feel like they're stuck in the moment? What sort of words of affirmation would you give them?
That's a good question. I would say just to tune into your own internal spirit. A lot of the times we get overwhelmed and we get anxious, and so we start looking outside of ourselves externally. Who can help me? What can help me? What's the first thing that I can grab that will be the fastest and easiest thing to do? Whereas I tell people, take a moment, sit in silence and tune in with yourself. I'm very much into as well taking that time to utilize whatever processes that are close to you in terms of prayer, if that's what you believe in, speaking to some kind of higher power, if that's something you believe in, and asking those questions, and then even asking your own heart. You can even hold those places on your body that you need guidance from, and or even allowing an offering. Our people say to lay some tobacco with your questions by a tree, or you can put it in a fire. And with that tobacco and that smoke and these processes, it will help bring that guidance that you're looking for from Creator, from your spirit guides, spirit helpers, from your own spirit. So those are things that I advise people.
It's being present with yourself,
right?
Yeah. Being aware of where you are, who you are, and what's going to help feed your soul.
Yeah, exactly.
This will be my final question. I know it's a little difficult, but how would you describe the journey of the work that you've done in one word?
Just evolution, I suppose.
Okay, there we go.
Reclaiming, empowerment. Those are like the 3 words I can think of.
So if people want to find out more about yourself and the work that you're doing, where can they go?
They can go to my website, www.shanleyspence.com. I'm on YouTube. If you just search my name, Shan Spence or Shanley Spence. Instagram, I'm Dawn Woman on there. But I think you can also find it through searching my name. And same with Facebook, just my English name, Shanley Spence.
Have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight? Leave a comment on our social media, reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.